Alright, and we should be live yet again. Another week. Another week of gaming. I did say last time that I was gonna stream every single week because a bunch of things happen in gaming. So why not recap everything that happened for that week? Because then if I do it only once a month, it's kind of not news anymore. It's kind of not news even at the end of the week, but it's still better than at the end of the month, you know? So I'll go through some things, some of the things I asked in the community, and that's basically it. I think we'll see. We'll see. Now, something big happened yesterday, and I think I will start with that. I think it was mostly funny, but at the same time, very telling of what some of the other people think about AI in video games. You know, basically, I mean, as you can see right here, the Epic Games founder and CEO Tim Sweeney says Steam should stop using labels for games made with AI. Basically, he's mad about the Steam labels, or one label in particular, you know? And that's crazy. It's actually funny because labels are added by the players. Yes, if you go on Steam, you can see that the labels are added by the players. Maybe I can show that. Steam is down apparently. Apparently Steam is down. Cool. Maybe it's only for me, but anyways. So, Steam being down, I cannot show it, but yes, it's the people who had the tags. Interesting. The argument, it makes no sense for game stores where AI will be involved in nearly all future production. So obviously, I had to make a poll about this. I had to. And as you can see, this is the result. Let's actually go through some of the comments here, because I think that's gonna be interesting. So you can see I made a very nice graphic of a label. Is Gabe about to have another do-nothing win moment as Epic goes in on AI gaming and flops? Gaben does nothing and wins. It's simply how it is. The guy sits on his yacht because, as we know, or probably some of us know, he bought a $500 million yacht and with 15 gaming computers on it. He plays probably Dota all day, and that's it. He doesn't care that much about what happens beyond that. If he sees that Steam is running well, great. But he's winning. That's what's important. He is winning. Because, as you can see, other companies or other people shoot themselves in the foot. That's very popular to say nowadays. Because it seems like only Valve cares about the consumer. They always do something in favor of the consumer. Now, there is one controversial aspect, what I know. The fact that you have the whole idea that you buy games digitally, but you do not actually own them. It's kind of an interesting thing, because what stops me from playing some of those games offline? You know? So I'm not sure about that one when it comes to Steam. That's why I've seen many people who prefer GOG. So that's something interesting. It's like this guy has an agreement with himself to never release a public statement that isn't moronic. Tim Sweeney, I think I remember him saying something stupid in the past, but I don't remember what it was. The one thing I remember, which was good, I think, is the fact that he bought a bunch of land to keep it for conserving, you know? I think that's good. Buying land to keep it for conservation, why not? I think that's a good thing. I think the internet, or he was able to farm some good points from the internet with that move. But with this one, with this statement, I think he'll go down a lot when it comes to popularity in the eyes of the consumer. If you're so proud of using AI, you should have no problem with us knowing about it, right, Tim? This is the biggest straw of them all. I asked, there was a guy defending Tim and how everything he said makes a lot of sense, and I asked, what is the problem if the tag is there? What's the problem? No answer, no actual answer, only deflecting. But what this person said, which made me laugh a bit, it is discriminatory or something like that to have that tag. You understand, it's discriminatory against people who use AI. Art is art, no matter how you do it. If you use AI, it's art. That's the argument. That is the argument. To me, that's not an argument, that's deflecting. It's not the same thing. It's not art. It's not. It's something. It's copying art, sure, but it's not. It's generating something from nothing, from something someone else made. You know? So yeah, I wouldn't put AI art in the same category as real art. But even then, let's say they're in the same category and art is art, whatever. It's fine. Keep the tag. Keep the tag so you can have people decide which art they like. Do they like the AI made art or the one which is made by people who put in a lot of work? Simple. The label doesn't hurt at all in this instance. So yeah, that's why you need a label like that. Honestly, when I added Johnny here, I usually add him whenever it's something about disagreeing or something people did not do. For example, let's see other. Yeah, for example, this one. Have you nominated your choices for the Steam Awards? No. Whenever you're not doing something, I put Johnny in. That's pretty much a theme on this channel. So yeah, this comment works really well with that. Johnny was so right about Corpos. We need more people like him. Yeah. Maybe the methods were extreme, but was in a way right. Can't wait for the AI bubble to burst. I hope not. At least Nvidia, no. Is not Nvidia, anyone else. And maybe not Meta, but they are not very far ahead when it comes to AI. So. The only thing the AI should be involved in for game development is the menial labor stuff. Test to make sure code works without setting the computer on fire, upres skybox textures, clean up instances of aliasing, smooth out polygons. That kind of stuff. So the devs can engage in the creative work that gives games very distinct identity. If a dev studio is offloading creative work to AI, I want to know so I can avoid it. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. As I said previously, people view AI as something that steals art, copies, and technically steals it, you know. I said copies, but it technically steals it. And creates something else out of that. But it's not like some random artist who uses someone else's art as inspiration. I don't see it that way. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But as you can see, people want to know because Even if the AI folk believe it's art, some other people don't. I think there should be some differentiation in how made with AI is tagged. Things like includes AI code, includes AI dialogue, NPCs. I think that could be actually a valued tag. Includes AI generated scenery, includes AI trained AIs, looking at Arc Raiders, spiders, and stuff. Ah, that's actually true? I had no idea. Interesting. I'm talking about Arc Raiders. I had no idea that some of the AIs were trained by AIs. Interesting. I agree. I agree with this because when it comes to code, now I'm not expecting them to necessarily have a label if the AI helped them with the logic of a code block. Everyone uses AI in their work these days when it comes to coding. I have a bunch of friends work in programming as programmers, and I asked about AI if they use it. I used it. I still use it when it comes to coding, and yes, the answer was yes. They all use it. It's a tool that helps them be productive and stay ahead. I mean, that's how it is. You are not gonna get rid of AI when it comes to coding, especially because it's useful. Useful to help you. It's not gonna replace a programmer, but it's definitely or can definitely replace some of the non-experienced people. You need to use AI, stay ahead, I think, and to be productive. It helps you with productivity. From what I know from talking to other people, from my own experiences, it really helps. Most of the time, it's not gonna write you the entire code you need, but it will help you with the logic. So yeah, when it comes to that, sure. I think there should be a differentiation. I think AI should be, or tags should be mostly about art, animation, or voice acting, not necessarily about code. Because even code editors today have AI incorporated it. So it's kind of hard. You cannot have it like that because then every single game is gonna have an AI tag in the future. Hmm. It's curious times when the absence of something is considered a feature worth bragging about. Gabe, you shouldn't tell people that lazy devs are lazy. The CEO making that claim is so oblivious to reality that it makes him so out of touch. What are the replies on this? Word oblivious on? What are you talking about? Oh my god. People going at each other's throats. Customer has the right to know what he's buying. 100%. If you have labels on every single product in existence, why not have labels on games? Especially when they are demanded or wanted by the community, by gamers. I have seen other people mentioning why not have labels with Adobe because there are definitely some people who hate Adobe. Those are not the same things. You cannot lump something else in just because people hate something you like. You are adding something else in which was never discussed. Adobe doesn't have the same amount of people who care about it. Adobe is just a tool, absolutely just a tool. It's not actually replacing anyone like AI will probably do when it comes to art, animation, voice acting. Imagine putting AI that replaces voice acting on the same lane as using Adobe. That's crazy to me. And I've actually had someone bring up this argument in a debate. So yeah. What else? Oh, I'm sure all the CEOs feel the same way. Probably not, Gabe. As I said, he's maybe on his yacht, $500 million yacht. As far as I know, that one has a research facility. They are researching the ocean or something like that, which to me that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Imagine him hosting a LAN party and playing Dota. That's also cool, you know? Playing, even if playing Dota, I have probably 2 hours on Dota. I haven't played it. But I would play it on a yacht. That definitely. Why would he just prove again that Epic Games Store is trash? Why does he sabotage himself? Is it just me, or is the launcher pretty bad? The Epic launcher. Is it just me? I don't like it. And honestly, no amount of free games is going to convince me to use it daily. Or to use it instead of Steam. It's simply how it is. It's not as good as Steam. Steam has everything I need. It's simply like that. So I don't know. Even whenever they gave away GTA 5 for free a few years ago, they did not even move the needle. That's how it felt. Maybe it's something, maybe it was bigger behind the scenes. Maybe they were actually able to shift some of the player base to Epic. But as I see it, Steam is growing exponentially every single day. And that's thanks to the amazing customer service. I mean, they literally have SEAL Team 6 on standby in case your account is stolen. That's actually true. They are sending visual footage of when they are raiding some of those hackers. Alright, let's go to some of the other questions which are not as polarizing or revealing, I don't know. So 19,000 votes by now. Thank you to everyone who voted. Oh, nice. This one is also pretty cool. But I think I'll start with the last or the first post time. This one. Okay. Which story DLC or expansion do you think is the best? Of course, this incorporates every single expansion or DLC for any game. I think I should maybe also include World of Warcraft. That one has a bunch of expansions. I included the expansion because CD Projekt Red distinguishes them as expansions instead of DLCs. So Blood and Wine is an expansion, Hearts of Stone is an expansion. So why not, if you have expansions, include the World of Warcraft ones as well, then DLCs, for example, in Elden Ring, whichever ones they have, Night Rain and the other one. So I included these 3 first, because those are the ones I played. And then of course, other DLCs from other publishers. As I said, either Blizzard or FromSoft or anybody else. I think some people mentioned other options in the comment section, from what I remember reading. But I should move it. So, as you can see, 17,000 votes, thank you for that. Most people voted for Phantom Liberty. And honestly, I don't know what I would vote. I really don't. Probably Phantom Liberty, but And someone called it right, I think, in the comment section. I remember someone saying that this is recency bias because Phantom Liberty was released recently in comparison to Hearts of Stone or Blood and Wine and of the other ones, maybe. I don't know. Night Train, I think, was released after Phantom Liberty, but I believe these polls are generally recommended to people who played Cyberpunk. I think. I'm not sure. I have seen other people from other communities, but anyways, 72% of people voted for Phantom Liberty. It is a great expansion. It is very good. But I also remember loving Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone. Blood and Wine, you gotta understand it. Blood and Wine is extremely big. It's as big as the game. I think you have a bunch of hours of content. Maybe 40 hours of content, additional content, I think. I could be wrong about that. Let me... Blood and Wine. How long to beat? Okay, so 35 hours. For completion taking 40 hours. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. With completion you have 40 hours of playtime. Completionist. Hearts of Stone, I actually probably like a bit more than Blood and Wine. Because it's darker. I love dark storylines. Absolutely. So, Hearts of Stone is definitely darker than Blood and Wine. Definitely darker. And has one of the best characters in the entire Witcher franchise. Blood and Wine vampires, sure, I'm Romanian, although I haven't seen a vampire in the last 300 years, but still, vampires are cool. Now, the thing is, you also have a very good storyline in Phantom Liberty. Incredible storyline. Or you could say it's only spies. More than that, it's incredible is a word that fits really well in this category. Phantom Liberty. Ultimately, I don't know what I would choose. There is no other expansion or storyline which were as good as these ones in my opinion. So I'm not sure. Let's see what the people say in the comment section. Blood and Wine, new region, a big one at that. True. The Toussaint, I think, is pretty big. Culture of said region and its characters, tons of new items and monsters, new main story quests and side quests, and most of all, an appropriate farewell to Geralt. It could be considered a solo game in of itself. That's a big true. Farewell to Geralt, yeah, I forgot about that. That's actually... Ooh, that's, I think, something people should consider. It's a farewell to Geralt. And surprisingly, many people don't know about that. Because, or at least, I think they don't know because, or they're oblivious to that fact. Because whenever Ciri was announced as the protagonist of Witcher 4, many people questioned, wait, what about Geralt? Of course, some of them for different reasons, but there were people who did not know about Geralt retiring in Blood and Wine. So yeah, maybe many people, I mean, for sure, many people did not play it. So the base game sold Blood and Wine copies sold. Blood and Wine, Witcher. It doesn't say. I couldn't find anything about that. So we don't know. We don't know how many copies of Blood and Wine were sold. Unlucky, I guess. Lucky. 60 million copies were sold of Witcher, but I don't know how many of those also include the DLC. Anyway, story-wise, holy word I cannot pronounce on YouTube is Hearts of Stone a bomb, man. Gaunter of Dim, Olgierd, Shani, and even Iris are such well-written characters. The story is heartbreaking, and Odim is such an unforgettable, fantastic villain. Yep. All of those characters. Gaunter Odim, who we are gonna see in the next saga, most likely. David Beckham, the other red-haired girl, and the God Girl, as this person said. Really good characters. Now, is it better than Blood and Wine? I don't know. Maybe I like it a bit more because I like dark storylines, as I said earlier. Blood and Wine, hands down. Hands down. I like Phantom Liberty as much as the next person, but Blood and Wine kinda deserves the win. It's not even comparable. Ooh! Is that true? Is this true? If there is no comparison between Phantom Liberty and Blood and Wine? But why is it winning? Why is Phantom Liberty winning, huh? People don't know what to choose, right? What are the replies? Nah. Have you played Blood and Wine? He replied to this person. No way. Phantom Liberty is beyond any other DLC in terms of how dark and gritty it gets, and the quality of the writing, world, space, bam. New gens haven't played anything but what's the most popular. Blood and Wine is pretty popular on its own, so... I've played Blood and Wine, but I much preferred just base game Cyberpunk to Witcher, by a landslide. Hence why I think that Phantom Liberty takes the cake for me. Me when I'm lying. Me when I'm a dumbass piece of word I cannot say on YouTube, who can't understand the nuance of human opinion because my ego outweighs my brain cells. Fair enough. I like Cyberpunk 2. I even enjoyed it at launch, despite the bugs, but nothing I've ever played beats Witcher 3 to me, especially Blood and Wine. We have a bunch of arguments, some better than the other ones, right? Okay, so there is the comment thread. Phantom Liberty genuinely shocked me. I haven't seen such a good DLC for a game in ages. Don't let any of the CDPR guys see that you used the D word. The DLC word. I cannot even pronounce it because I can only say expansion because, you know, I post content about their games. So basically, whenever I want to say anything else other than expansion in relation to what they released, my tongue is triggered, you know, and I say stuff which doesn't make any sense. For example, it doesn't matter. Blood and Wine felt like an entire new game, and it was on the same level as the main game. Absolute brilliance. There you have it, guys. The most important comment out there. Oh wait, it's about Blood and Wine. Never mind. I didn't say anything. Horse armor. True. True. Big true. Big true. The best armor is in Blood and Wine, that's for sure. Hearts of Stone didn't have as much content as the other two, but the content that was there was chef's kiss. So basically I can do this and because I'm a chef, I'm not actually, but if you acknowledge any gods, start praying now. Aha! I knew it! I actually didn't. It's from Detlef in Blood and Wine. Hearts of Stone, relatively short and sweet. Love the characters, the narrative, the lore. Ooh. Recency bias is crazy. Blood and Wine literally gave you an entire new map and 40 plus hours of content. Phantom Liberty scratched at maybe 20 hours and a pretty small town expansion. Is that true? Is that true? Okay, let's actually see. Phantom Liberty. How long to beat? Between 30 hours completionist. 15 to 20 main story only. Okay? Blood and Wine is bigger in terms of land, that's for sure. And content. Let's see the comments. Yeah, but you could draw the same comparison to anything if length is what makes something the best. What? I hear there are Assassin's Creed games thousands of hours long. I'm not sure if that's the case. I remember spending over 100 hours in the Spartan Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I think. But there was still so much to do, it was crazy. But I stopped playing at one. Yeah, over 100 hours, that's for sure. Blood and Wine was great. You are definitely right about recency bias, but the story of Phantom Liberty just hit a lot harder. Blood and Wine has a good adventure storyline, but it doesn't have the same emotional impact that Phantom Liberty had. I don't really remember thinking about Blood and Wine after I beat it, but I was still thinking about Songbird after I beat Phantom Liberty for a few days. That's actually true. I think it also depends on your own ending, Phantom Liberty. I mean, in no matter the ending, you are still probably going to think about Songbird. Whenever she's dead, oh, I killed her. Whenever she, wow, maybe I shouldn't spoil. Ooh. Yeah, and the questline NPC's environment was still better. Who? Hearts of Stone was a better DLC for Witcher. I only played Phantom Liberty, so I see it this way. Blood and Wine is an incredibly large expansion that really completes the game. But it never reaches the peaks in storytelling that Hearts of Stone or Phantom Liberty reach. I think the only quests in Blood and Wine I enjoy as much as the Phantom Liberty story are Randy's Town and the Wine Wars, which still have a bunch of grinding attached. Also, Phantom Liberty is not a 20-hour expansion unless you literally just rush the main. Yeah, I think hours, realistically, without rushing. Depends how you play it, because if you play it like a City Project Red developer, then for sure it's gonna be 50 hours to complete it. But if you play it like an average gamer, you are probably going to finish it in 20 hours. Wow, this is a huge comment thread. I loved it. I love it. 40 hours of Ubislop is a drag. What is Ubislop? Ah, the question marks, probably. I remember watching this one streamer who mentioned the term. 40 hours of good writing and substantial gameplay activities is fun. Okay, so people are debating on this. Blood and Wine is getting snubbed for a game DLC that low-key doesn't hold up to Blood and Wine. In my opinion. Phantom Liberty is great, but there is definitely recency bias to this answer. My favorite DLC isn't winning. People are being biased. Oh my god, I like this comment. Hearts of Stone is so underrated. My favorite questline in The Witcher 3. I hope Gontrod makes a return in Witcher 4. He's easily my favorite character besides the main ones. I would be surprised if he doesn't make an appearance. But then they'll need to consider the ending of Hearts of Stone. And not really, because even if you defeat him, he mentions that it's not over, he will return. Interesting. But I wonder what's the difference if he returns after being defeated when basically you struck a deal with him and that's it. That is something to keep in mind. Wires and Chains, yeah, from the song. Citadel DLC. Overall, Blood and Wine is above Phantom Liberty, and Phantom Liberty is above Hearts of Stone. Main story only, Phantom Liberty equals Hearts of Stone and is better than Blood and Wine. 100% agree. Not me, the comment, replying to this other comment because I'm not sure about actual places in my mind for these. Probably Phantom Liberty story, I like it a bit more maybe. No, gameplay wise, Phantom Liberty probably first. More freedom in Cyberpunk overall than in Witcher. More freedom, so I like that. Okay. Blood and Wine. Second. Hearts of Stone third when it comes to game. Yeah, I just remembered that I had to pay this one guy, Ophiri guy, a bunch of crowns for some garbage upgrades on my weapon. Story, when it comes to story, Hearts of Stone. Ooh. I think I have to agree with this person. I'm not sure. Nah, Phantom Liberty above Hearts of Stone, and Hearts of Stone above Blood and Wine. That's my ranking. Thanks for posting this comment. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think that's how I would rank it. So Phantom Liberty is then my choice. Ah well. Win some, you lose some. Do you consider yourself to be a casual gamer or a hardcore gamer? Right? Casual 30%, hardcore 11, 59 in between. I think I'm a casual. I'm a casual, guys. I casually play hardcore. Hardcore as in plays a lot? Yes. Hardcore as in plays some games on the hardest difficulty? Yes. Both work. I think, for example, FromSoft players who play those like games, they are hardcore. But the intensity of game time matters. You cannot say you are a hardcore gamer if you play once a week, no? So I'm a casual. In that regard, I am a casual. I spend more times recording stuff for YouTube than actually playing games. I'm playing World of Warcraft right now, so classic. That's basically. Valve is on track to generate $17 billion in 2025. That's $50 million per employee, putting them ahead of other tech giants. This is an entire article. You can read it if you want to, from Tom's Hardware. And of course, the Gibbon image, of course, had to add that, or I had to add it. It's very funny. I sent this one to a few of my friends. One of them had a very questionable answer, but I'm not gonna say it on stream because I don't think I can. Valve does nothing for years and wins. Valve does one thing, wins even harder. Someone has to explain that strategy, guys. And I think it has to be Gaben. Gaben has to... I said this in the previous stream, and I'll say it again. At the Game Awards on the 11th of December, I just hope they're going to announce Half-Life 3. And Gaben steps on stage, shows 3 with his hand up. That would be absolute cinema. It's simply how it is. Imagine that happening. I think people would lose their minds. I mean, I'm saying something else. Gaben is not really doing much. I think so. He's playing Dota. So this would be crazy. This would be crazy. 50 million per employee, but guaranteed. But not every employee gets anything close. Yeah, they get probably 1.3 million of that. It's about the average per employee. It's about how efficient every employee is. No. As long as everyone in that company is rewarded, that's great. I'm including the cleaning ladies and the maintenance guys as well. Wow. Imagine, how much do they make? Do they actually make a lot more because they're cleaning at Valve or something like that? Maybe I should apply for a job there as a cleaning guy or something. Anyways, pretty cool. Are you excited about the upcoming game announcements at the Game Awards? Some people did not understand this question. It's about announcements. For example, last year, Witcher 4 was announced with a trailer. That was exciting, at least to me. Surprisingly, 41% of people voted no. Some did not understand the question from what I've seen in the comment section, but I think it's fine. It happens once in a while. I mean, I do post every single day, a poll every single day. So at one point, sometimes, I mean, people have things which they do not understand. It happens a lot. Or it happens sometimes. Personally, I am excited, especially with all of these rumors about Half-Life. That would be interesting to see, for sure. I'm more excited for the idea of Gaben stepping on stage and announcing it. That would be pretty cool. I wonder what other games will be announced. Hopefully, I'm not gonna say that. Actually, I'm not gonna. Do you use Steam to buy games? Most people use it. Most people do. 14% of people voted no. That's surprising to me, you know? That is surprising. If more people saw this poll in real life, I mean, not on the internet, I think many of them would vote no. Because there are a bunch of console players, or at least where I live, I remember whenever we made this one, we played CS 1.6 and then CS:GO. A bunch of people who played with us did not have a Steam account, and that was crazy back then too. Many play FIFA on PlayStation and that's it. That's the entire gaming they do. Okay, now this is a big one. Have you nominated your choices for the Steam Awards? Yeah, the Steam Award. Can I even... Steam Awards. Can I put this on stream? Can. Okay, so I nominated something. I'm not 100% on this. I want to change some probably. Game of the Year award, PR Game of the Year, Labor of Love award, Best Game on Steam Deck award, Better with Friends award, Outstanding Visual Style award, Most Innovative Gameplay award, Best Game You Set award, Best Soundtrack award, and Outstanding Story-Rich Game award. Oh no, there is one more, Sit Back and Relax award. So these are the ones nominated. You get some experience and you can level up with that. What are the nominees? Edit your nominee. So we have popular and recommended games. This one. PR Game of the Year. These were the ones recommended by Steam and are very popular. Project Zomboid. I played it with my friend for the first time this August, I think. And I loved it. I loved it. I think it's... Now here there are a bunch of answers. But I'm gonna vote for Project Zomboid. They add a bunch of stuff all the time. Dead by Daylight, Rust. With Rust it's crazy. Rust, don't play Rust. Don't play Rust. If you're gonna play Rust, you will lose your life. It's simply how it is. I remember, and I still feel sad about this. I started playing Rust in, I think 2018. It was on a sale, very cheap, I bought it. And then I told a bunch of my friends to get it. And most of them, they've spent more time than I did in this. I have probably 700 hours or 600 hours. It's nothing. 600 hours in Rust is nothing. You're basically a noob. Not even that. You become a player after 1000 hours. Sort of a player. And you're technically a bit above noob. You know, after 1000 hours. But most of my friends have done more than that. And that's crazy to me. I feel sad about that because they wasted their lives. It's actually a fun game. But a Rust phase, if you play with friends especially, it goes on for months, or at least one wipe. At least one wipe, you know? Or two. It's crazy how addictive this game is. Or was, I'm not sure, I haven't played it in years. Thankfully I was able to uninstall it before I was affected even more by it. Crazy addictive. Dota, I'm not sure what it's doing here. Okay, so those are the nominees. Best Game on Steam Deck award. I could... What did I voted Hades 2. I haven't played the other game. I voted Hades because I've seen a bunch of gameplay. I've seen gameplay of Silksong. My friend is playing Silksong, one of my friends. And I was thinking of voting that for the fact that I've seen gameplay and it's cool. Better with Friends award. I watched a bunch of Ark Raiders. So much Ark Raiders, it's actually crazy. So that's what I want, why I wanted to vote for that. Dying Light. Fellowship. Casual 1. Can play it with other people. Outstanding Visual Style Award. Silksong looks nice. Very nice. Most, what are the other ones? Good Night. Power Wash. Hades. Good as well. Dispatch. Silent Hill. Most Innovative Gameplay Award. Probably not. Of these ones which are nominated, I didn't know what to vote for. I voted Expedition 33 because I didn't know what to vote for. I wanted to vote for everything. Best Game You Suck at Award. Obviously Elden Ring, I'm not even gonna look at the other ones. Best Soundtrack Award. Expedition 33 has a great soundtrack. I don't even know the other one. You can search for specific game, by the way, not necessarily the ones which are found here. Outstanding Story Rich Game Award. I watched most of... I watched it all, or most of it. I think the story in Dying Light, The Beast, better than the previous games. Sit back and relax. Megapunk is crazy, crazy, crazy fun. Only nominated Dispatch. I nominated for every category because I wanted the experience. Why not? I wanted the experience. It's criminal how people talk about how criminal. No one talks about what? No one talks about Dispatch. They want to play games, not cartoons. Ooh, that's crazy. Do you agree with this? Is this true? Do people want to play games, not cartoons? Okay. So people probably did not know about it. And 19% of people didn't know about it. 59% not vote. They will. Cyberpunk has sold 35 million copies. That is insane, no? This is, I think, a better number than for Witcher. Witcher 3, how long to break 35 million pairs? Okay, so it took them 6 years to reach 30 million, apparently. So in 6 years they got to 30 million. Cyberpunk in 5 years got to 35 million. Of course, as you can see, Cyberpunk is growing faster than Witcher. Cyberpunk has the best Cinderella story of any game I've ever played. I have never seen a game go from universally hated because of bugs to an absolute masterpiece. Yeah, it was definitely hated. And masterpiece, I guess it depends on who you ask, because if you ask the people who play on PS4, okay, fine. You twisted my arm. I don't remember doing that. Did I actually do it? I start my 15th playthrough? 15th playthrough? That's crazy. I actually don't remember twisting your arm. The invisible gentleman? You're invisible. How would I even do that? What? Is this guy saying the truth? What's this guy yapping about, guys? One of the greatest sci-fi media ever created. Deserves twice that number. 70 million? So that's 5 more years. 10 more years? Something like that? I don't know. Man, imagine how much more it would have sold had it been as polished and complete as it is now at launch. True, I think it would have sold a lot more, that's for sure. It is on the Mount Rushmore of gaming in terms of open world. I have played it so many times and I'm still discovering secrets. Oh. Nah, the best open world games of all time are Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 5, Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas, Elden Ring, and Witcher 3. Then it's Cyberpunk. It's top 10 but nowhere near Mount Rushmore. No way. This person, is this person right? I'm not sure. Yeah, but the Zoomers think it is. My god, I'm a Zoomer. I'm a Zoomer! Okay. I didn't even put stuff like Red Dead Redemption 1, San Andreas, or Oblivion, because then the top 5 would be Rockstar Games and Skyrim. LOL. GTA 5 is the best open world game? Above Cyberpunk? Don't get me wrong, GTA 5 is great, but nowhere near Cyberpunk in every aspect. Oh my god, we have a battle between as you can see, the Rockstar enjoyer and the CD Projekt Red enjoyer. The Star versus the CD. The sequel. In my opinion, Cyberpunk is above all of these except for RDR2. Even though it's one of my favorite games, I wouldn't even put Elden Ring in the same category. There is too little character interaction for it to be compared to RDR2 or Cyberpunk. Under those two, I would probably put GTA 5. Skyrim, Oblivion, and Fallout New Vegas are very dear to me for lore, roleplay, and nostalgia reasons. But to compare them in terms of open world mechanics and immersion is just unfair. I think the reality is that Skyrim is there, Skyrim for sure, Witcher, Cyberpunk, and probably New Vegas. RDR2 has to be included now. I haven't finished it, so I cannot say. I actually haven't finished New Vegas or Skyrim, but those are from the start. Maybe I will put RDR2 instead of New Vegas. Well, 2 of them at my house, including Phantom Liberty. I'm doing my part. What? Absolute pick. Here's The Witcher 3. It kind of does. You have 2 copies, yeah. That person got 2 copies. Fine. I'll play it again. Jeez. Where is that comment? Where? Huh. I knew I saw it. I'll play it again. Okay? I'm not gonna twist your arm like I did to that other person. One of the best games ever made. Bought it twice. I'm a very proud owner of one of them. Emoji with heart's eyes. New Game Plus. No? No? You're welcome, CD Projekt Red. I have it on PS4, PS5, Steam, and Switch 2 at this point. At least my Steam copy can run on my MacBook now without having to pay for it again. Makes sense. If that's all bought at full price, that's over $2 billion. It wasn't bought at full price. It deserves it after its generational comeback. Okay? A good comeback, a great one. For sure. What year will Cyberpunk 2 come out? 63,000 votes. Okay, let's see the comments. Most people believe it will come out in 2030. Okay. We have to find the CD Projekt Red developers in the comment section because they definitely saw this. They absolutely saw this the same way they are on the stream right now. Guys, you need to understand. I am the most important person who posts stuff about Cyberpunk. It's simply how it is. Actually not, but... Anyways, 2030. That's the release year. How do I know it? I don't. But the people who voted definitely know something I don't. It's obviously coming out in 2077. Okay? There you have it. No point in even talking about this subject because we have a developer right here. Okay, so this is all wrong. 63,000 people, 999 were wrong. This person is correct. There you have it. When it's ready. Don't need another 1077 situation. As long as it doesn't ship in the state Cyberpunk 2077 was in at launch. Somewhere between 2030 and 35. Is that true? Honestly, 2030 is crazy optimistic. Witcher 4 doesn't even have a date. Well, the speculated year is 2027. We'll see if that's actually something achievable. Next year, we'll see that next year at the Game Awards. Because this year, nothing will be... They are not going to show any new content. Kind of a bummer, but... still. I hope by 2030, I want to still be live enough to play it. It's sad if you are old. I know I'm old myself. I'm 26. When it's ready, and not a day sooner. Just release it when it's finished. Okay? I'll tell them that. CD Projekt Red stated that 447 developers are working on The Witcher 4, while 135 developers are working on Cyberpunk 2. Wow. I mean, the graph on computer, you cannot really see it. 135, that's Cyberpunk, this is Witcher. Hadar, no, this is Sirius, then Hadar. Other stuff. Other stuff. They showcased another graph at one point. Maybe I should have added it here. By 2030, they expect the Cyberpunk team to have over 300 people working on the game. And it makes me think that perhaps they are expecting Witcher 4 to release in 2027. That's still part of the speculation, you know. They've got 50 more devs compared to last time. Not bad, not bad. They have two major teams, guys. They built one recently in Boston that's dedicated to Cyberpunk content. Large majority of Poland teams are working on The Witcher, whereas Boston is working on Cyberpunk 2 project that entered pre-production earlier this year. Poland is still implicated in the project too, as you have guys like Paweł Sasko based there. Makes sense. Think Witcher 4 will come out sooner. So hyped to see Ciri again. Can't even decide which one I'm more hyped for. LMAO. This is true. Worried my PC won't run either though. I should change my computer at one point. Next year maybe? Cool, I'm gonna play both. Nice. The Witcher 4 seems more in full production, whereas Cyberpunk 2 seems more pre-production still, even though they have two separate teams studios working on. Makes sense. Releases will likely be staggered deliberately regardless. I fully expect Cyberpunk 2 to be a 2027. What? Not possible. Not possible to be released in 2027. 2028, in my opinion, is too early. Not possible. Makes sense. Witcher 4 will come out long before Cyberpunk 2, which is still in concept phase. No, Cyberpunk 2 is in pre-production. I don't work at a game studio, but I assumed eventually some people transfer over from more completed projects to work in progress, no? After Witcher 4 is released, they will have more people shift over to Cyberpunk. Why not? Either way, we are waiting patiently and hyped for both. Makes sense? CD Projekt Red is becoming a legendary AAA developer? They're the blows my mind Cyberpunk doesn't have New Game Plus. Hopefully they added this. Doesn't really need it. Yeah, Dex taking down. It's not about the story, you know, it's about gameplay. Farm levels every single time you wanna replay this? That's a good argument. That's actually a good argument. But I do. I farm levels every time I replay it. And Luco Maluco. Scrap Witcher. Cyberpunk is better. Oh no. Is that true? That's a dumb idea. Since when is Ciri a Witcher? Since Witcher 4. And last seen in Witcher 3 provided like all the books. Since the books. I haven't read them. I should. I have three of them right here. Maybe I should start reading them. Can't wait to see it flop. Ooh, we have a hater. Basic bait attempt. Goated comment. I don't know who that is. But yeah, people agree. Basic bait attempt. There you have it, guys. There you have it. LMAO, Witcher 4? What a joke! Hey. Pesto the maid. What a joke! Okay. So there you have it. That's the week. Done and dusted, eh? Is there anything else? This is from the previous week. It has a bunch more votes, that's for sure. 58,000, Which one of these is your most wanted game? GTA 6, Witcher 4, Resident Evil? Neither. I think the voting is pretty close, to be honest. Witcher 4, GTA 6, Golden Joystick Award. Most wanted game. Aha, I found it. Nice. So this is the result of the Golden Joystick Award, where you had 21 million votes. And people were able to vote out of 20 games in the most wanted category. And as you can see, or can't see, GTA 6 wins or won with 18% of the vote, but surprisingly or not, The Witcher 4 has 16.6% of the vote. Very close run in my opinion for the most wanted game. And I am curious if the Game Awards Witcher 4 is going to win. That is the question. Because GTA 6 being delayed made a bunch of people switch over to other stuff, I think. Or at least I believe this is why it's so close. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I basically talked about everything I had to, and I think I will end the stream now. Maybe I will stream during the week. We'll see. Probably some World of Warcraft because that's what I play now. So I'm not gonna stream that on YouTube because, well, we'll see. So thank you to everyone who decided to check the stream, who decided to like it, view it, watches this channel, who subscribed, of course. And I'll see you in the next